Good morning, everyone, and here we go. We are recapping the final day of games for the regular season for 2024 to 25. It's hard to believe that we've already come this far, but yep, we have. Let's get into right to this. By the way, I don't know how many of you check with my predictions that I make usually on the Flash Audio Network on Fridays, but for the year I went 245 and 89, which is a 734 correction percentage rate. So, yay! Pat myself on the back. All right, let's get into this here. All right, Wolves travel to Danbury, take on the Hat Tricks, and 5-2 the final for Danbury. Crowd of 1929 sees Johnny Ruiz get a couple goals, and the guy keeps going on. I checked the stats this morning, and he needs 55 more points to reach the 400-point mark. So that's very attainable. Anyway, Connor McCollum gets the win for the Hat Tricks in net. He saves 25 of 27 shots. Brendan Colgan takes the loss. 42 saves on the night. Johnny Ruiz with the game-winning goal 20 seconds into the third period. That really opened things up. Shots on goal, it was 12-9 Danbury in the first, 14-8 in the second, and 21-10 in the third. So they just kept going and going and going. Carter Thornton and David Gaeta had the goals for the Wolves, while Ruiz had 2 goals, and Dylan Hullaby also had 2 goals for the Hat Tricks on the night. So the Watertown Wolves end their season with only 55 games played because, of course, the game that was supposed to take place today got canceled. 28, 23, and 4 is their record, and yet they're the 4th place team. They will be hosting the Motor City Rockers on Tuesday at 7:30. Danbury 33, 15, and 8. They are the number 2 seed in the Empire, and they will be traveling to Port Huron on Friday. So there we go. All right. I just checked. I'm recording this at 5 after 6 in the morning. The game report still is not closed out. So what are you going to do? Port Huron, a 5-2 winner. And this was the amazing number to me right here. 2,074. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that is the first time the Rockers have drawn over 2,000 fans in a single game. Possibly. All right, so it is Yoshi. He gets the win. Yoshi Kuroiwa. He stops 20 of 22. Bryn Sommerfeld starts the game for the Rockers. Also finishes it. Saved 32 of 37 on the night. Jamie Bussell with the game winner at 14:30 of the second period. Not much happened in the first. It was 8-7 in favor of the Prowlers in the first, 14-8 in the second, and then 15-7 in the third. What a night for a couple of the Trine University players that are on the Port Huron roster. Excuse me. Bobby Price, 2 goals and 2 assists, and Drew Welsh had a goal and 2 assists as well. So very good night for them. Bussell also a goal and assist. Brad Ryder and Brendan Ronan were the goal scorers for the Rockers. Port Huron, they'll be hosting that first game on Friday against the Danbury Hat Tricks. 32, 18, and 6. This is the first. This is their best season in like 4 years. So, good year for the Prowlers. The Rockers are 19, 32, and 5, and of course they will be making the trip to Watertown to take on the Wolves for that all-important play-in game to see how that turns out. That starts the playoffs this year. All right, so there we go. The final game of the regular season, but just the second in at least 4 in a row, possibly 5, depending on how the playoff series goes. Yep, it was Athens beating the Columbus River Dragons 5-2, and yeah, so Athens ends up 43-10-3, and that's a second place finish. That's amazing. Columbus 34-16-4. That's 54 games played. Of course, they had a couple games that were never scheduled or rescheduled, rather. So Josh Rosenzweig, he gets the win for the Rock Lobsters. He saves 26 shots on the night. Matt Petithan takes the loss. He went 27 of 31 in 58:03 played. The Lobsters did get an empty net goal late in the game. Game-winning goal was scored by Philippe Virgili at 19:43 of the second period. Shots on goal, 9 aside in the first, 13-10 Athens in the second, and 10-9 Athens in the third. Crowd of 42,87 on hand. Columbus ends up the year with 97,000 plus fans drawn. So for this game, a couple noteworthy items. First of all, Garrett Milan. He's the leading scorer for the league. He ends up with 101 points. Yep, he crossed the 100-point threshold. 101 points on the year for him. And rookie Cason Gallant, he ends up with 40 goals. He is the goal-scoring champion for the season. So, next time these two teams play will be Wednesday, and it'll be Game 1 in the Commissioner's Cup playoffs, Round 1. Wednesday at 7:05. That is the game time for that. So, that completes those games, the games that I watched. All right. There we go. Okay, so last game for the HC Venom. Last game of the year, maybe last game total. Don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see. But they end up on a very short end of a 10-1 win by the Binghamton Black Bears. So the Venom. What a challenging season they had. Of course, it's all been documented as far as the difficulties they went through, an ownership change, not having a home for a while, and so they end up with a record of 14-36-3. Binghamton ties a Fed record for most wins in a season with 49. That ties the Carolina Thunderbirds of the 2018 to 2019 season, but the Thunderbirds still ended up with a better points percentage during that year, so they still have the record for the best season in Fed history. All right, so John Moriarty starts this game for the Venom. It didn't last that long. It's not because of the goals scored. CJ Hapward, he gets his fourth start for the Black Bears, and even though the defense limited the opportunities that he had to face, he did play very well and stopped 19 of 20. So this game starts off with one of the Binghamton rookies, Nick Swain, scoring just a minute 31 in. That pretty much set the tone of everything. Now, Ricard Zielinski's, he did score. Zielinski's had a good weekend. He had a goal and assist on Friday night. Excuse me. And then the goal last night. So, the Venom's problems are definitely not the fault of Ricard Zielinski's. 16:37 the time of that goal. And then Binghamton ended up on a flurry. It's Chris Mott scoring at 18 minutes even. And later on, 18:55, there's a bit of scrum up front. Moriarty gets upset, wings a puck at Tyson Kirkby's head, which missed, but Binghamton players took exception to that, so a scrum ensues. Moriarty throws a punch with his blocker on, a couple of punches, actually connected with a linesman with one of them. And so that was the end of his night. Ejected for using his blocker as a weapon. That's, I think, the third time we've seen that penalty uh, announced, a match penalty. So I'm not sure. It's a match penalty on the final game of the year. I don't know what kind of impact that has. I mean, is Moriarty going to have to, if he comes back next year for whatever team, is he going to have to serve a game suspension? I don't know. It's weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that happens. But anyway, um, Dakota Bond, he scores on a 5-on-3 power play, the ensuing power play at 1947. And then just when you thought things were over, no, Nick Swain scored with less than 1 second left. There was 6/10 of a second left on the clock. He scores on a power play goal, 1959. Remember that time because it's going to be a recurring theme for this game. 1959 of the first period, Nick Swain scores the second of the game. So it is 4-1 at the end of one. Second period, we had goals by Austin Thompson, and then Tyson Kirkby. Then we had Anthony Bernardo, one of the rookies, scoring in the power play at 5:50. I'm sorry, no, that was the end of the second period. It was just the 2 goals in the second. I don't know why I wrote the second period in that. Let's correct that. Okay, so it's 6-1 at the end of 2. Sharma has been in goal since the 1855 mark of the first period, and boy, did he get hung out to dry. He made several spectacular saves, but yeah, eight get by him, and poor Sharma. He it's impossible to dislike him. The guy is just he's like joy embodied in a person. It's just incredible to watch him out there, and always a smile on his face. Yeah, I hope to be able to see him with whatever team next year playing again, because he's been a joy to watch. All right, so 6-1. We go to the third period. Anthony Bernardo scores in the power play at 5:50. 6:56. Austin Thompson gets a second. He decides he wants a hat trick, so he gets it at 10:58 on the power play. And then 1959, Dakota Bond could have. He scores. He passes the puck on a breakaway. It was 1-on-none. The Venom players have kind of given up, so Bond just kind of dishes the puck back to Chris Mott. Mott puts it home at 1959. Again, third period, and that completes the 10-1 game. So for this, Yelensky's the only goal for the Venom. Thompson has a hat trick and an assist. Still comes up 1 goal short in the goal scoring race, though. Nick Swain, 2 goals and an assist. Tyson Kirkby, a goal and 2 assists. He ends up as the number 2 scorer in the league, 97 points. And CJ Hapward, mentioned before, he stops 19-20. Moriarty stopped 16 of 18. Took the loss because he gave up the second goal. And then Rahul Sharma, he stopped 33 of 41. He got a workout last night. Wow. Anyway, so there we go. Again, did we see the last of the Venom? I don't know. Also question, did we just see the last of the Dashers? Unknown. We're going to find out one way or the other within the next 3 weeks or so. They lose to the Bobcats, and more importantly, the Bobcats clinch that 4th place spot. So they will be hosting the play-in game, 7:30 in Wytheville on Tuesday. All right, 6-1. It was 6-0. Parker Rutherford ends up with another big night as far as his personal stats, stopping 52 of 58. It was Igor Ramanov scoring at the 1-minute mark of the second period because there was no goals in the first period. First period shots were 16-11 in favor of the Bobcats, but Rutherford had stopped them all. Meanwhile, on the other end, Anthony Sherm got his second start of the year, one of the collegiate rookies joining the Bobcats. In the second, things just opened up with a power play goal from Milan Brezko. 6:07 the time of that goal, and that was the game-winning goal too. Dan Klinicki scores 57 seconds later. It is Damon's first scoring at 11:25. It's Nick McHugh scoring at 13:07. The Skeeter Dog goal for the Bobcats, and yeah, it's 5-0 at this point. Shots in that second period, 17-14 in favor of the Bobcats. But yeah, the Dashers weren't finding any success on offense. Sherm played very well, and Rutherford, he played well too, but kind of the story of the year, yeah, not well enough. Of course, it's not all on the goalie. Defensive woes kind of flared up last night for the Dashers. In the third period, it's Vladislav Vlasov scoring, making it 6-0. That's at 1:48 of the third period. That would be it for the Bobcats. We did have a goal from Nathan Malott of the Dashers at 7:04. That took away the shutout, but at the end, the Bobcats did what they needed to do. They get their home ice advantage for that play-in game and win 6-1. Shots 58-36. And a crowd of 2,076 on hand at Hitachi Energy Arena. So the one thing that I was really glad to see was the return of Juwan Davis into the lineup for the Dashers. Of course, he just got absolutely destroyed a couple weeks ago in a game, and I thought he was done for the year. Comes back for the last game, gets an assist on the Malott goal, so that was really good to see. And it's really good to see that Juwan Davis, or as the players call him, Juju, it was good to see him back on the ice. So 2 assists for Daniel Martin, 2 assists for Brendan Reller, and 6 different goal scorers for the Bobcats, including Brezko's game winner. Anthony Sherm stops 35 of 36. Rutherford, 52 saves on the night. And again, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with the Dashers and the Venom in the upcoming few weeks to see, are they going to be back, or is the league kind of moving on? All right, Carolina and Monroe. This was a blowout for a while. Carolina gets out to a 5-0 start. Boris Babick in goal for them, and Sean Kuhn starts the game for the Moccasins. Not a good night for him, and a very short night as well. We had goals by Roman Kramer, 3:29. We had Lane King scoring at 6:51. Dawson Baker scoring at 10:16. Kuhn would be in for another minute, and then he's pulled because Jan Salak scores, and 2 saves on 6 shots. So in comes Cody Karpinski, had better results. And actually, the Moccasins seemed to kind of get invigorated by the goal change, even though Roman Kramer did score at 15:33 to make it a 5-0 game. In the second period, Moccasins come out with a lot of energy. Caden Henry scores. Rex Moe scores. So there's 2 goals on the board for the Moccasins. They're kind of chipping their way back into it. Now, Dawson Baker does score his second of the night at 12:16. Baker had a great weekend. 2 goals the night before, 2 goals last night. All right, so it's 6-2 at the end of 2. And in the third period, it is Koivuniemi scoring at 5:19. Okay, game's getting more interesting. The fans are getting drawn back in. And then Kevin Savad scores at 16:36. It's 6-4. The crowd goes nuts. That was a disputed goal. The officials did look at it and rule, yes, it was a good goal. So 6-4. They pulled Karpinski at the end, but nothing more happened. It was a 6-4 win for the Thunderbirds, and they improved to 41-11-4. Of course, they're in first place in the Continental, and they will be waiting for the winner of the playing game. Monroe ends the year 22, 25, and 9. Not a terrible season for a first year club, but they were hoping for a lot more. We know what a success Monroe has been at the gates and just with drawing fans back into pro hockey in Monroe. I expect big things from them for next year. All right, so Baker 2 goals and an assist. King a goal and assist. Kramer 2 goals. Slack a goal and assist. And it was Oprah night for the Carolina Thunderbirds. For the Moccasins, they had 4 different goal scorers, including Kevin Sabad, Caden Henry, Rick Smo, and Koivu Niemi. Kuhn stops 2 of 6. But the loss goes to Karpinski because he gave up the 5th goal. 18 of 20 on the night, and that was 47:02 was the time that he was on ice. 46:95 on hand to close out the year. The Moccasins, I believe they ended up drawing like 123,000. Gonna have to double check, but obviously led the league. Congratulations to the Monroe Moccasins on, even though you didn't make the playoffs, it was a successful first year. All right, final game, and we're just going to kind of breeze through this because I'm running long. Mississippi Seawolves, not the way they wanted to end the night, but it was a competitive game, so that was good. A 4-3 overtime win for the Zidico. Of course, by the time we got to the third period, it was obvious that the Bobcats had won their game or had their game in hand, so they would be hosting the game. But the Zidico, they kept playing. And boy, did they play. 66 shots on net. Ed Coffey stopped 62. Great night for Ed Coffey. Unfortunately, he comes up on the short end. But meanwhile, Bailey Stevens playing back-to-back games. He saves 23 of 26 on the night. Crowd of 3289 at the Raising Cane Center, cheering on the Zydeco. It was Jake Cox scoring at 9:56 of the first period. That was equaled by Philip Long with a power play goal for Mississippi at the 19:13 mark. It's 1-1 aside. Shots were 18-11 in favor of the Zydeco in the first. In the second, Colby Audette. Boy, what a challenging year he had. So it was really good to see him get on the score sheet for the Mississippi Seawolves last night. He scores at 6:45 and gives the Seawolves a brief lead. But it was Shane Haggerty scoring on the power play at 10:25. And then Kuznetsov scores at 10:55. Dmitry Kuznetsov, of course. Just within 30 seconds, bam, that 1-goal lead turns into a 1-goal deficit for the Seawolves. Now, Seawolves made a game of it. Sam Turner evens things up again at 18:40. So at the end of 2, it's 3-3. But the shots, it was 43 for the Zydeco and 21 for Mississippi. Coffey kept them in the game. Third period, shots were 21-4 in favor of the Zydeco, but Coffey came up huge. That was very apropos because he's a huge dude. Biggest goalie in the league. So anyway, off to overtime we go. And finally at 1:32, it's Kuznetsov scoring his second of the night and the game winner. And that propels Zydeco to the 2-point win. They come up with 91 points on the year, whereas, of course, the Bobcats had 92. Haggerty had a goal and 2 assists. Kuznetsov, 2 goals. And then for the Mississippi Seawolves, 2 goals. A goal and 2 assists. Sam Turner had a goal and an assist as well. Stevens gets the win. Coffey, a very good performance to close out the year, even though it came up as a loss. Very good night for him. So next, of course, Baton Rouge will be heading to Wytheville, Virginia, take on the Bobcats for the play-in game for the Continental Division. And again, that is Tuesday, 7:30. Both games Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. So make a note of that. All right, so that's the end of the regular season, and into the playoffs we go. So we've got a full week ahead. I've posted the daily schedule as far as what I'm going to be doing on Facebook. It's pinned right at the top of the page. So you can check that out and see what's coming up. I will be doing a video on Monday. Yep, I will be doing a video tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about the sudden issue that has arisen with streaming games on YouTube for the Fed. What's the future of streaming for the FPHL? We'll talk about that. All right. The rest of the week will be on the Flash Audio Network. Links are on the Facebook page. So make sure you're following me here on Facebook. Facebook is kind of the big part. So make sure you're following me there. And, of course, Flash Audio Network. Appreciate all the support. It's been fun. It's been a fun regular season. Now let's see what happens the next 3 weeks, next 3-4 weeks before we crown a champion for the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. All right, I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you tomorrow right here.